Hello everybody, this is Sean Apollo Clark and welcome to the first episode of Improve with Apollo. You've seen the announcement video yesterday, I hope. If not, go check it out and you'll know what's going on. But this is our first player that's going to be trying to improve with me. I'm going to try and help him out as much as possible. His in-game name is Deagle here. He will, or has been having troubles in Protoss vs Terran, and will be playing against his Terran opponent on the other side of the map. But before we do jump into it, I'd like to thank everybody for sending out the emails. I've got so many emails, it's great to see everybody just trying to, and willing to put their games on the line, put it on show for me to help you improve, and hopefully that's what I'm going to try to accomplish here. So before we do jump into this game, let's go ahead and just kind of read out the application form from Deagle. His real name is, oh my god, I hope I get this right, Žygimantas Vanagas, a 20-year-old from Lithuania. He's a Diamond or Low Master League Protoss, and here's the description he laid out. I've been playing StarCraft 2 since the beta, but I have a lot of problems. Protoss vs Terran and Protoss vs Zerg are my worst matchups probably. I'll give you a Protoss vs Terran replay. I'm always behind in supply against Terran, and I don't really know what's going wrong. I'd love some help. I hope you'll help me. Thank you very much. So now, of course, we can try and help him out as much as possible, and I hope that a lot of people may experience similar things to Deagle here on what's actually gone wrong. So I'm going to try and analyze every single move that he makes within this game and try to break down everything. I'm not going to open the production tab because I don't want to see exactly what the opponent's doing. I want to try and have a blind perspective, just kind of imagine that I was in the shoes of Deagle here and what I would do in his position. So sending out the probe is the first thing here, and we of course waypoint to go check top right, bottom left, bottom right, sorry. So we go in, and already I would have, had my, what hotkey is this on? It's actually not hotkeyed. So, oh, that's a bit of a mistake too. Maybe that's the probe that's hotkeyed. Where are you? Yeah. So a bit of a mistake there, got the next gateway in there. But, jump over to the probe immediately. You want to be checking out the gases. Does he have gas? Yes or no? If yes, well, you actually didn't check the second gas, because if yes, then we play a completely different game to if he didn't have gas. So chasing this SCV is very, very bad. Turn it around and go in and check the gas, please, and then just return home. So first things first. So we go in. Gas, no. Left gas. No. Okay, good. Now get out, because you're going to die. The Marine will shoot you down, so you want to get in, get the gas, get out. Do we have a command set down? Yeah, okay, great. So everything's perfect so far in this game, and actually I love it as a Protoss player when I face off against Wombat's command center, because you have a world of options to actually choose from now. You can play incredibly greedy, you can play aggressive towards it, you don't have to get second gas early, you can get it early, you can go robo early, you can add on gateways initially, so I like the amount of options that we have. We just have freedom in this game so far. So Stalker being chrono-boosted out is precise, it's great. Alright, I'm going to pause it. I don't think he should be taking the Xelnoga tower with this probe. I think it's better to send the probe straight home. The reason for that is, with the Zealot coming out and the Stalker to follow it, Zealot should already be walking across the map. You know that he's got Wombat's command center. The likelihood of aggression is very, very low, which is why we have the freedom to do whatever we want, because he doesn't have extra barracks down. He isn't going to drop Hellions in our main base, for example. So bring the probe home, get that back to mining, and send the Zealot across. Zealot is actually pretty slow. Movement speed only 2.25 compared to the Stalker. It's like 2.75, I think. I'm not exactly sure. But with the Stalker now coming out, it will catch up very fast with the Zealot. So get the Zealot moving across. Sometimes Terran players don't actually wall or build a bunker, should I say. So you could get damage done. Let's check the Stalker speed. Oh, 9.5, 2.95. Alright, that's still really fast. So he's going to catch up and overtake. And you always want the Zealot at the front. So that should have gone off immediately. Gateway Nexus is coming down, which is great. And a Sentry May behind it. Okay. This is where I like to chrono boost in the Nexus and build a pylon. Okay, you chrono boost in the Cybercore. Let me pause it. Alright, chrono boosting into the Cybercore, I don't think that's quite necessary. Why are you trying to rush it out? I don't think you need to rush the Cybernetics Core Warp Gate research out, because what are you trying to get it out for here? If you're trying to get it out so you can warp in units after a sentry, then if you're scared of him being aggressive, potentially adding on a bunch of barracks and coming very early on, then build another Stalker. A Stalker is going to give you the option to kite a lot of Marines. 2 Stalkers is going to do a lot of damage. And on a map like Žygimantas Plateau, even though it is very difficult to play Protoss as a Terran, the walking distance from his ramp to your ramp, that's a lot of DPS that 2 Stalkers can deal out to a bunch of Marines. So, you know, if you are scared, do that, rather than chrono boost in the Cybercore. And I'd much rather chrono boost into the Nexus right now, you know, push that freedom of yours. Really emphasize it and get the probe count as high as you can get it. Alright, so you have options to take a gas after, or right now you have gas, robo first, extra gateways, we'll see what you do. Stalker leads a charge, sees a bunker, has to get out. Perfect. So, you know, that's fine. At least now move the probe back and leave the Zealot on the Zalnaga Tower. I personally like to leave the Stalker here, so you can see movement down immediately. You can, you know, you stop him sending out an SCV or something. Alright, so SCV is not going to go in the main base, so it should die. Where is your Stalker? Okay, Stalker will kill it. Excuse me. Okay, so we have extra gateways coming down, and then the gas. So you are playing it very safe. So far playing it very safe. With extra gateways coming down, with you know, aligned with the warp gate coming out, you're going to be able to build units pretty much instantly. So, I mean, I don't think it's needed in this game because of the way he's playing out, as you go straight to warp gate and you can warp in units. But with the robo coming down after, I would have preferred the robo first, then the gateways, because if you think about it right now, the warp gate's ready, right? Yes, you can warp in units right now, but do you need to? No. So, and even if you've already got 2 sentries as Zealot and Stalker anyway, so I don't think it was quite necessary to get it warp gate out as fast, and like I said, I would have preferred it to be in the Nexus. Focus points with the robotics facility is going to be observers on a map like Žygimantas Plateau. Like, you want 3, I think, at least 2. The locations, let me just pause it before we get going. The locations you're going to want, because on Žygimantas Plateau, it's really difficult to play against good Terrans. The dropping potential is so frustrating, because they can drop you, you know, in the most obvious place ever, here. But if they go and touch the top of this base, which is really high up, and go all the way around, they now can drop you here, 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 even here. So it's basically unlimited where they can drop. So unlike some maps where you can focus on where the drops are going to come from, an example would be Cloud Kingdom. On the natural, drop location A, in the main base, right at the back, drop location B. On this map, drop location X is over here, Y, Z, A, B, C, D. You know, it's just unlimited. So we go on and play on from now. What are you going to do? Observer? Okay, Warp Prism. Okay, Warp Prism, interesting choice here. Okay, that's cool. I definitely think that Warp Prism can be good. So I'm not going to push that out there, but definitely want to get observers after that. Looking at the probe saturation, you do want to start getting gases on the natural shortly, especially because you should be chrono boosting into the Nexus still. Especially going Warp Prism. I mean, what else can you chrono boost into now? You're not going to chrono boost the... you could chrono boost an observer. You could chrono boost out the armor as well. But yeah, you are spending it into the natural. Oh, get 1 gas. Take 2 gases. Whatever your follow-up is going to be here, you're going to need all 4 gases. Whether it be a robotics bay coming down. Because if you think about it, you've got 3 sentries good. You've got 250 gas at the moment. With an observer coming out, that's going to be 75. So you go down to 175 roughly. You're going to have armor, so you're going to go down again. Your gas income at the moment is only 200 per minute. And then once the robotics bay come down, if that's going to come down, you need 200 on Thermal Lance. You're going to need 200 on the Colossus itself. And then you're going to need to build Stalkers as well. If you go down Templar Archives, you're going to need the Twilight Council, you're going to need Zealot Charge, you're going to need Templar Archives. So it's always important to get the second or both gases at the same time here, because you've already got enough probes. You're at 38, almost 40 probes. You've almost, and if you continue to build probes, by the time the 2 gases are ready and you can go in, you're going to resaturate the natural really fast, and you don't really need that many minerals right now. Oh, this 4th gateway I don't like. Okay, the reason why I don't like this, you should be choosing your tech. Look at your resources right now. 65 minerals in resources in the bank. Without that, that's 150. So, shoot up to like over 200. And then you can choose your tech, whether it be Robotics Bay or Twilight Council. This is the time to tech, not to add a 4th gateway. What's that 4th gateway really going to do for you? You should add the tech choice on a pylon over here or here, and then add on like 2 or 3 gateways, depending on how you're going to play it. But I don't like this 4th gateway. I think that's a mistake. What you're going to choose, armor or attack? Armor most likely. Okay, good. Armor and chrono boost. Okay. Observers should be being made as well behind this. Gas on the natural. Okay, you made the gas later, so you should have got that gas, but it should have been aligned with the 3rd gas. Twilight Council, cool. All right, excellent. We're going to play a Templar style. All right, so the Zealots come in. Really nice. Oh, good scanning information too. So the Zealots get in here. They're going to pick off a couple of SCVs, which is always nice. And you see 5 barracks. Get out while you can. Good. Does he have stim? I'm going to turn off the production tab. I don't know why that's on. Oh no, I pressed the F button. Let's just rewind. Alright, so we get in there and we see 5 barracks. So I'm going to pause it now. 5 barracks, alarm bells. Woo, woo, woo. Because that is going to be heavy aggression. There, he's going to put a lot of pressure onto you. And on a map like Shakur's Plateau, be expected to be dropped all over the place here. So with the probes right now, looking a lot better. Really good probes. You got 4 gases now, finally. Oh god, you're not in the gas. Get in the gas. You really need to get in that gas. It's really bad that you're not in there. You need as much gas as you can physically get. Because trust me, later on, you're going to be desperately, thirsty, hungry for that gas. So armor on the way. We got observers on the way. Good. Warp prism's still there. Very good. Don't really have any information on when he's moving out, but I guess the observer can do that after. Stop probe production now. 47 probes, good. You don't need any more probes. Look, all right. Okay, with 3 off, 1, 2, 3. You're good. That's your saturation on minerals there, and you're good in the main base. You want to stop around this point, and then spend all your money in either extra gateways or just continue to build units and pylons. So you don't need to build over probes. You want to stop probe production because, to be honest, you don't even know if you're gonna survive past 2 bases. But you need to confirm that. Temporal Archives coming down. A 5th gateway. I would love to see a 5th and 6th. You got 200 minerals in the bank. Add on the total 6 gateways. And this is the point where I'd like to see consistent observer production. We come in again with the Warp Prism. Goods. Really good harassment. I really like it that you're able to, keep up your fundamentals in your structure and your base layout, but at the same time being able to drop with the Warp Prism. So that's really nice. And, drop the Zealot maybe. Okay, good. Yeah, okay, nice. Zealot going towards the 3rd base. You got the Zalnoga Tower still with that probe. And then Observer outside. Okay, so I definitely recommend 2 more Observers. Observer 1 here, maybe, to spot if the drop's going to come, or maybe in the middle. And Observer number 3 outside your main base. Because what a lot of Terran players will do, and I'm sure that everybody's encountered it, is they'll drop and sprint at the front door. So the better vision you have of it, the better you'll be. No way chrono boost into in the Nexus. Big mistake. Don't chrono boost in the Nexus. That chrono boost has to be saved for Zealot Charge. It has to be saved for Storm. +2 armor. Big mistake. I already told you to stop building probes 4 probes ago. No need to chrono boost in there. That's a mistake for sure. Alright, so 2nd Forge coming down. Alright, cool. You can play 2nd Forge. That's okay. I prefer single Forge though, just because you will be gassed off shortly. It may not seem like it right now, but you haven't started Templar production, which you need to do, by the way. You need to get the energy banking up as fast as possible. 8 gateways, wow, okay. Kind of a mass gateway add-on because you're going double force, so you are playing long term. Looks like the Warp Prism was pushed away, but you're also going 8 gateways, which is pretty aggressive. But in this time, it's going to be pretty defensive. Alright, so the gateways could have been added on a lot earlier. I mean, you haven't even turned this one to Warp Gate yet, so you've missed a lot of warped in rounds. You should have had a 6th gateway a lot earlier, and then if you wanted to add on the 7th and 8th, would have been a lot crisp. So it should have been 3 gateways, then add on 3 more, then add on 2 more is the smoothest play style. So we have +2 armor on the way. You want to be chrono boosting out the armor now, and maybe the gateways, but you're okay in production actually at the moment. First things first, when I see an army movement out like this, I say to myself, pylons, 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 because you know you're going to have to warp in units, but look, 95 out of 108, you know you're going to be in trouble. So, can you warp in anything right now? Not really. So you want to be spending pylons, like 3 pylons down now. I would build 3 pylons and then get ready as these gateways finish up to open more units. Just remember that. It's just really important to just remember that you're going to be building a lot of units here. You're going to be under pressure. Get the pylon production out the way now while you can. You can build 5 pylons now and still be good in a couple of seconds to open even more units. You're going to have to... What's his energy on the medevacs? Really low. You can't really feedback these. It doesn't really help out that much. I prefer just to go to Archon. That's probably the majority of his army. I don't think he's dropping because that's a big army. I don't think he can drop at the same time. Let's just have a quick look. No, okay. So yeah, the focus point is going to be the natural. I would have, thought that myself, that would have been the focus point would have just been there because the army's so big. 2 Archons, good. Pylons, really needed pylons. No in production. Yeah, really should have built those pylons. Really wish you had the observers out. Would make things so much easier in this game. Oh, I pressed F again. Come back a minute. Alright, so let's open D and just have a look at what he's doing and what you're doing. 3rd command set coming down. 2 gateways, 2-2 on the way. Oh, no, 1-2, sorry. Alright, so... to be honest, I'd be really comfortable in force fielding the majority of that. With 2 Archons and all those Zealots, you're going to crush face, especially with the +1 armor, neglecting his +1 attack there. So I want to see a really good trap here. Good force fields, not the best, but that's pretty good. And then back off, good. Yeah, really good, really solid. Now's the point where I freak out and scream a little bit like a girl because he's going to drop the main most likely. But you do have the Xel'Naga Tower range, which makes things easier for some reason. So send your Stalkers in the main base, probably like around... I doubt he's going to drop there. If anywhere, it's going to be like in this box. So Stalker probably here. Get these to warp gates immediately. Throw down more than 2 pylons. You want to be throwing down like 4 pylons because even with these pylons completing with warped in units, another round you're going to be dead out of supply again. But it's not too bad. You're doing okay so far. I would love to see Storm at this point now. You got some freedom. You got a bit of gas in the bank. Storm right now is pretty good to get. Getting Storm now is going to give you the splash damage necessary to smash any army down. Because if he goes to 2 base all in, which we still don't really know, if he's if he has a bunch of like 50 SUVs come at you with his ground army, you could still die potentially. Observers though. Need the observers out, need Storm out. With the minerals you're starting to bank, are you building units? No. Build these units now, like 8 zealots. 8 zealots, and you're back down to 800 minerals. Focus on getting rid of that minerals. And then with every cycle, you can pretty much get rid of 800 minerals every cycle if you're upbeat with it. Upbeat with your pylons and your zealots. Imagine if you go 8 zealots, 3 pylons, that's 1,100 minerals gone every cycle. That's the way to get rid of your money. So even though it's getting high now, it's very easy to bring it down. What are you moving out here for? This is really bad. The reason why it's really bad is, like I said, this is the point of the game where he drops you. If he fails the attack at the front, he's probably going to drop you. And on a map like Shakur's Plateau, you are in defensive mode. You do not see a 3rd base. There's no reason to move out. I don't know where you're going. You may look to try to find his army, which you could beat, but stim and pick up and go is always going to, you're never going to catch his army. And the probability of you actually catching his army and killing it is so low that this movement out is going to return negative results more often than it will do positive ones. Because I think you're going to catch and kill an army 1 time out of 10, maybe less. And the other 9 times, he's going to drop you, which results in basically you're going to die. You're going to lose a lot. So if you think about it mathematically like that, then the probability, the odds are you need to stay in your base. He could have run up here and come around to drop you natural. He could have even gone in the dark zone and dropped right there. You have to be so careful. You're very, very vulnerable at the moment to a lot of drops, especially while he's on 2 base. So you go to check the Xel'Naga Tower. Alright, so at least you're there now. Leave a Zealot. You should leave that red health one, the least useful unit there, or maybe that one. The one with 6 hit points. Alright, Viking out. You still haven't built those 8 units I talked about, so you've built 4 somewhere. I don't know where, because your cooldown's there. But you've built 4, and there's another 4. Okay, so a little bit later on. 4 High Templar, good. Keep these as High Templar, and I would love to see Storm. Pylons, you want to build like 4 or 5 pylons. You got the money to do it. And we see a big drop here. So with this drop incoming now, you see it coming. You get a lucky escape with that warp prism, considering you don't have any observers. Warp prism's going to die, unfortunately. Alright, no, whoa, where are you going? You never send everything to deal with one thing. 3 medivacs is really easy to stop as long as they don't drop in your base. That's the focus. Do not let them drop in your base. But you do not need everything, because his army's still out there. Those 3 medivacs, if you think about it, I'm going to 1330. Let's go back to when he actually was attacking you. It was like 11 minutes because it was quite late, wasn't it? Alright, is this it now? Alright, where is it? Okay, here it's coming. Alright, so 1330 we're at. So as he attacks you here, do you at one time see his army go past the middle to go home? No, not one time did it ever go home. So at this point, when you see these medivacs coming, that's a new army. His army's still there. Whether it be hiding somewhere where you didn't see, it's still there. So this is super important not to leave your natural open. Very important. You'll lose a lot of games like this. So in terms of leaving it open, at least leave sentries. That's hard mode, is sentries. Leaving sentries to go bam, bam, force field. And they can't run up. That's hard mode. Go easy mode, and all you need to do is, I probably, since you don't have Storm, send 4 of these up, or not 4, maybe 2. Send 2 of these up here, and about 5 Zealots and Stalkers. Leave Sentries, Zealots, and you're probably in time for another warp in, and more Zealots on the natural. Storm would help out a lot here, but just split your army in whatever way you can. Split your army up, because otherwise you're just gonna take too much damage. You see he's got no third base. You're still in defensive mode. You're falling a little bit to 1A syndrome at the moment. You got everything on one hotkey, which is why you come back to defend the natural and you bring everything and you leave nothing. And then, oh no, feedback the right medivac if any. I guess you're just in panic mode, so you feedback the first one you see, which is okay. 3 Zealots is not enough. Now he's dropped everything, and that is disastrous. And you've brought everything back to defend, which, oh dear me, what are we going to see here now? Yeah, oh no, that was obvious. That was going to come in and kill you, unfortunately. Oh dear. Oh dear me. Alright, so unfortunately here, Deagle, we're in a bit of trouble because you cannot deal with this there. You're going to lose the natural, and as soon as you come to defend, he's going to drop your main again. Oh no. Alright, so everything was going pretty good. There wasn't too many mistakes until now. This was the biggest mistake of the game. Splitting up the army. So let's just rewind it to just show you how you could have avoided this. Alright, that was the biggest mistake of the game. Alright, so let's just come back a little bit more to 1330. You know the drops are going off. You've seen the drop going off right here. You know it's coming. Number 1, 3 observers on the field. 1, pathway of the medivacs. 2 is okay. I'd even poke in to see if he's got a command center up by now. 3, outside, like this location. Because that location will tell you and give you more reaction time to if this kind of stuff is going to stim in and kill you. So 3 observers, very, very crucial. Storm. Even though it's not as important as the things I'm about to say, it's still needed. Keep on warping in units. Do you have warp units to make? 4 more Zealots. You've got to be on top of those. On top of your pylons. Build 6. You can build 10 pylons. And then 4 Zealots. And you're still going to be in good shape. Just get rid of that money. And then the most important thing now is splitting your army up. So you know the drop's coming. You can't let this drop in. Even cannons can help you. The pylons aren't that good actually. Your pylons are a little bit bad in terms of you want to have radiuses to warp in. For example, I mean I wish I could actually see the radius of the pylons in a replay, but you probably can just warp in like there. You want to be able to warp in these big chunk of areas. Even over here, you can probably just warp in just a little bit there. You want to be able to warp in. You've got no warping chances over here. If he drops you on this left-hand side, you're in trouble. You've got no chance of warping in. Maybe this pylon can cover that angle there. But your pylon spread out is pretty bad. And then just cannons. With the pylon spread out, you could even build a couple of cannons to help defend. Like 2 cannons, 2 High Templar, and 5, 6 Zealots. You're good. You feedback. You should have enough energy for 3. Especially because you should have, had quite a few out already. I mean, definitely. at least 3 High Templar. I can feed back all 3 of those. Bunch of Zealots to kill as soon as they drop down. They have +2 armor by now. You just out of position. It could have gone... the ideal situation would have had like 5 Zealots already there and a couple of Stalkers. Feedback, feedback, feedback. Then maybe a couple of cannons and it's dealt with and you won't lose anything. Because as the units plop down one at a time, 5 or 6 Zealots with charge will just murder everything. And he has to pick up and get out. But unfortunately he gets everything down now and the medevacs can work and heal on everything. And then if you have that spread out and you have units on the natural, Storm can even help. Storm, Storm, Storm. If you had that by now, which you should have got by now. But then just leaving everything on the natural. And then once you defend off this, the game moves on to another level, to another stage. But unfortunately, you couldn't quite deal with this drop. And if the game moves on, very easily now, you go ahead and you expand. You keep warping units in, you expand. You keep chrono boosting out your upgrades, which are looking really good. Get +2, get +3 down. You get the robotics bay down. You throw down the second robotics facility, and you move on to the next stage of this game. But unfortunately, you just lack of observation, a lack of 2 group units on 1A syndrome, and you just got pulled apart a little bit here. But having dealt with this, I think you could have probably still won this game. I think you were playing really well in this game. But that seems to be the end of you here. So if we fast forward it a little bit, I guess that you're going to either attack or try to come back into this. Yeah, you just attack, and there's no way without Storm, the Colossus, you're going to beat this size army. Even with 1-1, you know, got no Guardian Shield here. I guess you're just kind of a little bit upset with that. There it is, and you just got way too much. Even just completely outrun, dropping your main again. So just dealing with the drops and seeing things was probably the main focus of this. So I hope you, Deagle, enjoyed this review and that I helped you out and other people can learn from your mistakes as well, which is the real focus of this project, so other people can learn from your mistakes. You know, make sure to keep on sending in replays for anybody watching this. If you want your replay reviewed, please send them in at improvewithapollo@gmail.com. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and be out looking for episode number 2, which should be out in just, well, probably tomorrow if everything runs as smoothly as I predict. So thanks for watching. This has been Apollo. This has been Improve with Apollo, episode number 1. Until next time, see you later.